So I do a lot of traveling, both for work and for pleasure. And just like most of us, I'd absolutely love to bring every lens that I own with me, but of course that's never possible, and I'm forced to condense my carry down as much as possible for lightweight travel. Traveling forces me to take out what I want to bring and makes me think about what I actually need to get the content I set out to. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking through my super compact gear list for travel, and I'll also talk a little bit about why this gear is a necessity instead of a nice to have. Links to everything I speak about in this video will be left in the description, and I'll also leave the timestamps down there as well, just in case you'd like to jump around to the parts that you're most interested in. Okay, so let me start off with the stuff that you probably care about the most. Camera-wise, I'm always packing the Lumix S5. Even though I do have access to the Lumix S1, the S1R and the BS1H, the Panasonic S5 is still my choice for travel because of its weight and ease of use. 10-bit 4K 422 is normally all I need for corporate work, but sometimes if the shoots are a little bit more high-end, I'll also bring the Atomos Ninja V with me so I can record 6K raw video. Lens-wise, I have to try and be very specific. I've got a lot of L-mount glass at my fingertips, so it can be quite easy to overthink on this one. But bringing any more than 3 lenses is overkill for me, so I normally tend to bring only 2 with me, unless of course the shoot is a little bit more special and requires a little bit of that added spice. The 2 lenses that always seem to be in my travel camera bag are the Panasonic 16-35 f4 and the Sigma 2870 f2.8. They cover pretty much everything for me. They've got a wide focal range from 60mm all the way up to 70mm and are both lightweight, so are perfect for travel. The 16-35 is normally what I'd use for those dramatic wide establishing shots, and the 2870 captures details, medium wide shots, and also acts as my low light savior in times of need. And despite what some people might say, f2.8 lets in more than enough light in poorly lit scenarios, and the dual native ISO on the S5 makes low light shooting a breeze anyways. Okay, so next up we have the smaller things that if I forget and then remember on the drive to the airport, I immediately put my sound mix on Spotify. Number 1 is a variable ND filter. You shouldn't ever leave your house without one of these. They're an absolute necessity for shooting video, and literally I'd rather shit my hands and clap than leave this behind. Since the 2870 has a 67mm filter thread and the 16-35 has a 77mm filter thread, I'm forced to also bring a step-up ring with me as well. And if you're unaware of what that is, it's basically just a cheap way to use your bigger filters with your smaller lenses. I also always bring along a spare battery for my S5, the battery charging dock, and a USB-C cable for charging. And since we're on the topic of cables, I also always bring a phone charger of course, and a Smallrig HDMI cable for connecting the Atomos to the S5. Audio-wise, I like to keep things as compact as possible as well, and even though I'd normally use an XLR shotgun mic with an external audio recorder, when I travel I use an entirely different setup. Normally in my travel bag is the Hollyland Lark 150 wireless receiver kit, so I can put on a lav mic on the subject and they can move freely. I also bring a very cheap but pretty decent on-camera shotgun mic for scratch audio, and that mic is the Movo VXR10, and it's basically just a video micro but cheaper. Next up is storage. So if I'm bringing the Atomos Ninja V, then of course I'll bring along an SSD inside an Atomos Caddy. The one I normally bring is the 1TB Samsung 860 EVO. It works great for recording ProRes RAW, and I never get that weird kangaroo when using this one, so it can write quick enough to keep up with the codec. SD card wise, I absolutely love the Pro grade UHS 2 cards. They have a write speed of 250 megabits a second and work great with the S5. But since the S5 only has one UHS 2 capable slot, I also bring a few SanDisk Extreme Pro UHS 1 cards along as well. Also really robust and have a write speed of 170 megabits a second. So now onto the last thing, and arguably the most important in many ways, and that is the actual camera bag that I use for travel. One of my biggest problems with camera bags is that they look like camera bags, and I know that sounds really dumb, but I know that you know what I mean. Most camera bag companies are great for making fit for purpose, expensive looking bags, but normally they draw attention to you when traveling and make it super obvious that you're carrying around a bunch of expensive equipment. Most of them also can't double up as a regular weekend bag either, so that's why the Brevite jumper bag appeals to me so much. Unlike other camera bags out there, it's both functional and fashionable without making it super obvious that you're a photographer or a videographer. The bag comes in a variety of different colours, some of which are way too bright for my liking, but this Alpine green one is nice and understated in my opinion. It also comes with removable dividers that can be configured to your liking for the bodies and the lenses that you normally take out with you. And the fact that they are completely removable means that you can use this bag just as a bag if you wanted to as well. There's side access to your camera as well, which is very nice and makes things so much quicker when you're wearing the bag. The zips are also really high quality and it does a great job at holding everything I need when traveling abroad. It also qualifies as an accessory bag too when you fly, so if you don't add any check-in luggage to your flight and opt to bring a cabin bag, you can also take this bag with you and put it under your seat. Anyway, that's pretty much it for my camera bag when I travel. I hope you guys found it somewhat useful and somewhat interesting, and if you did then please comment below and let me know. But yeah, thank you as always for watching the video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.